what's up, fellas? So in this video, we're gonna be checking out the not-so-new TOJI unit. Honestly, this guy's really flipping good. And to add on to it, this guy has full Z+ stats, so he's basically going to be almost as max as what he possibly could. I don't have a mythical trait, unfortunately, but I think Swift 2 is going to be pretty good for him, especially considering the fact that he attacks really flipping quickly with this one. So anyways, boys, before we jump into the overview, here's a quick shout out to my members. Also join the Discord, link is in the description. Now let's check them out. All right, so unlike with Gojo and unlike with Sukuna, this guy actually does have a trait, but doesn't have a mythical trait, so it's a little bit different. TOJI! Yeah! Love to see it. Anyways, TOJI, he costs 1,500 per placement, and he has a placement cap of 3, just like Sukuna and Gojo. Unlike Sukuna and Gojo, however, this guy is actually an exclusive unit, which is pretty cool. Both of the other ones were secrets. So on placement, he does 3.51k damage. Again, this is considering the fact that he has full Z+ stats and only Swift 2 for his trait. So on placement, he does 3.51k damage, does 4.5 seconds for his SPA, and he has a 25.3 stud range. So upgrade 1, he goes up to 4.28k damage. SPA drops down to 4.1 seconds, but his range increases to 28 studs, and he costs 2,500 in order to upgrade. Upgrade 2, he goes to 6.39k damage. His SPA does take a little bit of a toll and goes up to 5.7 seconds, but his range goes up to 29.3 studs, and he also gains the ability Spinning Staff. Upgrade 2 costs 3,550 yen. And he also goes to Line AoE, which that's kind of cool. So let's talk about his passives now. So he has two passives. Heavenly Body, damage plus 50% when no buffs are active on this character, which is kind of cool. Challenging Infinity, range plus 20%, attacks remove shields and ignore damage reduction, and damage plus 30 until an enemy is killed after removing shields, which is pretty cool. So this guy's a little bit of a shield breaker. Upgrade 3, he goes from 6.39k damage to 7.22k damage. SPA stays the same at 5.7 seconds, and he gains roughly about a stud in range increase, and this costs 4,750 yen. Upgrade 4, he goes from 7.22k damage to 8.35k damage. His SPA drops down a little bit to 5.3 seconds, and his range increases to 32.6 studs. This upgrade costs 5,100 yen. Now, upgrade 5 is when things are gonna get real fun. So upgrade 5, he goes from 8.35k damage to 12.54k damage. His SPA does take a little bit of a toll and goes to 6.6 seconds, but he does gain a range increase, increasing it to 34.6 studs. He gains the ability Rock Expulsion, and this upgrade costs 6,000. And he also goes from Line AoE all the way up to full AoE. Very cool. I've actually seen this guy, by the way, so I know all of his attacks and everything. So upgrade 6, he goes from 12.54k damage to 13.82k damage. His SPA drops down a little bit to 6.1 seconds, and his range increases to 36 studs average. This upgrade costs 6,800 yen. Upgrade 7, he goes from 3.82k damage to 14.45k damage. His SPA goes to 5.7 seconds, and his range increases to 38.6 studs. He gains the ability Domain Breaker, and this upgrade costs 7,300 yen. And he goes from full AoE back to Splash AoE. So upgrade 8, he goes from 14.45k damage to 15.48k damage. His SPA stays the same, but his range increases by roughly about 3 studs. And this upgrade costs 8,400 yen. Upgrade 9 takes his damage from 15.48k damage to 16.5k damage. His SPA drops down a little bit to 5.3 seconds, and his range goes to 42.7 studs. This upgrade costs 9,250 yen. Upgrade 10 takes his damage from 16.5k damage to 18.88k damage. His SPA does jump up a little bit to 5.7 seconds, but he gains almost a 5 stud increase. Look at that, man. That's insane. He gains the ability Chain Blitz, and this costs 11,000 yen. And he goes from Splash to Cone AoE, which is pretty good, actually. Now, upgrade 11 is when he gets his next passive, but his damage goes from 18.88k to 20.86k damage. His SPA stays the same at 5.7 seconds, and his range increases to 48 studs. He gains the ability Curse Inventory, and his upgrade costs 11.5 thousand yen. He gains the ability Curse Inventory, as I said last time, but Curse Inventory is actually pretty cool because it's a local cooldown and allows you to change what his attributes are. You can change it from Chain Blitz, or you can have it be Domain Breaker, which also changes his attack pattern. So let's kind of break it down a little bit. Chain Blitz gives him a 10% damage increase, but Domain Breaker increases his range by 25% and also increases his boss damage by 25%, which is very cool. This guy has almost a 60 stud range, by the ways, and in fact, on the next upgrade, we'll talk about that. This guy is very powerful. So if you were able to place him somewhere like right here, he'd be covering all of this pathway, like right up to about here or some. It's pretty cool. So we'll go ahead and activate Curse Inventory for now, just to keep him at Cone AoE. But upgrade 12, he goes to 24.09k damage. His SPA drops down a little bit to 5.3 seconds, and his range increases to 50 studs. Again, keep in mind, the range is talking about Chain Blitz. We'll get to Domain Breaker here in a minute, but we're talking about this for now. This upgrade costs 13.5k yen and is also his last upgrade. So 24.09k damage for his max, max damage, 5.3 seconds for his max SPA, and 50 studs for his max range. And this changes to 22.59k damage for his Domain Breaker ability. 22.59k damage max for Domain Breaker, 5.3 seconds SPA, and 60.04 studs for max range. Very good. Very, very, very good. Hey, real quick, I just wanted to jump in here and say that if you're enjoying the video, then make sure to not only like it, but also subscribe for more. I've got a ton more AV videos planned, so you guys aren't gonna wanna miss them. So make sure to get subscribed, like the video, and turn notifications on if you really want to. All right, boys, back to the video. Now let's sell him and see what his damage is like with the Haruka Rin buff. However, I think it would actually be a pretty good idea to not have any buffs, specifically the Haruka Rin buff, because that 50% damage buff is actually pretty good. So we'll start off with one for now, and I'm actually gonna place him right here. So completely maxed, he does 19.27k damage, and again, this is with the Haruka Rin buff, so a little bit of a reduction. This is also a Chain Blitz too, so it's under 20k with Haruka Rin. It's honestly kind of not worth it to do Haruka Rin since it's only a 12% increase as opposed to a 50% increase. So whenever you have TOJI, it'd actually be a good idea to place him like in a range where he could cover the most amount of ground, but away from your units so they don't have any buffs whatsoever. So Haruka Rin, not really recommended. Yeah, 24.04, 24.09k. Yeah, that's really flipping good. But anyways, boys, let's go ahead and get these guys completely maxed and all three placed down. And also, well, I guess two of the others placed down, and see how much damage they do. 24.04k. It's a lot of anarchy. Very fast unit though, so like this guy is freaking good. Yeah, that's about what I expected. So if you guys need a really good unit, then maybe consider getting him. He is an exclusive unit and is only available, I think, through like one of the legend stages. I forget where exactly I got him from. I think it was the story. It was like story number 2 or something like that. But either ways, boys, if you guys need a really strong unit, consider getting TOJI. Awesome unit, very fast SPA, very good. By the ways, if you haven't checked out my Tengen character overview video, then make sure to go watch it by clicking on it right here. Tengen is a really good unit and you should absolutely get him if he's in the banner and if you don't have him yet. So go watch it. Dismissed.